Hi, this is Sue Jackson, and I'm here today with a tag video. This is one that I've done before, but it was a while ago. So it's the revised eReader book tag. They said it's a 2-year-old tag created by Micah Cummins, but actually Micah created this tag 3 years ago, October 25th, 2022. And I know that because I did it in November 2022. So I've done this before, but I've been tagged by 2 people now. So I thought it was time to join in since many of my answers are slightly different anyway. So I was tagged by Kevin Toll Reads and by Marlicia's Meandering. So thank you to both of you. And thanks to Micah for creating this. It must be a good tag, Micah, if I'm doing it twice. Question 1, what was the first e-reader you ever owned? What was your reason for getting one? Were you a reluctant convert or an eager one? So I was definitely reluctant, and I still barely use my e-readers. This was my original, this little Kindle. I just tried to charge it, and yeah, I can't get anything on it, so I don't know what's going on. But you know, just one of the early versions. I think my husband got it for me for Christmas one year. I was like, you know, I wasn't thrilled about it. So I was definitely reluctant. Okay, so question 2, what e-reader do you use now? / what e-readers do you own? Well, clearly I still own my first one. And the last time I did this tag 3 years ago, while I was doing the tag, I asked my viewers to give me advice on what kind of e-reader to get next. And we'll get into this more in some of the other questions, but I wanted something in color. Some of what I read on e-readers are graphic novels. And so I wanted something that was a little more versatile than this very early version of the Kindle. And that I could look at in full color graphic novels on. And I got excellent advice from my viewers, as always. They suggested that I go ahead and get an iPad. And several people told me, get the mini if you're going to use it primarily for reading, because the big ones are really heavy. And I just got my husband a large one, which he had requested for his birthday. And I can definitely see what they mean. So I took that advice, got a nice small iPad mini, got my Kindle app on it, and so I'm all set. And I can also use it for other things. I keep it next to my bed. I do most of my reading in bed, so I keep this on my nightstand. And I very often, while I'm reading a book, if there's something I want to look up, well, I just did this last night. I was starting a new book set in Australia, and I wanted to see where it was where the book was set in Australia, and I know nothing about Australia. So I pulled up the name of, it's set in a fictional town, but it said it was based on this town. So I saw pictures of it, saw on the map where it is, and that was really helpful. So I keep it by my bed to assist me even when I'm reading print books. Question 3, do you read digitally on multiple devices or always on the same device? If you use multiple, how do you decide which one to use? This is my one and only now. I haven't gotten that Kindle out in years. I got this for Christmas 2 or 3 years ago. So this is it now. I use the iPad as an e-reader. Question 4, do you still read physical books? If so, how do you decide which format to read a certain book in? I mostly read physical books. I very rarely read ebooks. I prefer physical books. I like the feel of a physical book. I like turning the pages. I have an entire bookcase of books waiting to be read upstairs in my bedroom. So, and that's one reason I don't use my e-reader much. I have so many physical books that I haven't read yet. And so there's more. I also have a whole bunch of ebooks that I've acquired over the years that I'd really love to read. There's a Matthew Quick novel. I always love his novels. I've been meaning to read Life After Life by Jill McCorkle for years and years. A Prayer for Owen Meany. I didn't even know I had that one. Kitchens of the Great Midwest. I've been meaning to read for years. I've got lots of good books on here. That's our Halloween clock. But the physical books exert more psychic pressure. I don't know. And it's not pressure. It's a pleasant pressure. I've got all these physical books right there in front of me. So my instinct is to grab one of those. I have been absolutely thrilled with the iPad mini for travel, for airplane travel, which we don't do much of. Airplane travel's really hard on me. I've got a chronic illness, and yeah, all that time in airports, it's too much time on my feet, it's too much time upright. Airline seats hardly even recline anymore, and I do not do well when I'm not able to get flat once in a while. So we don't fly a lot, but in the last couple of years, we had 2 family funerals and a family wedding, all down in Texas, which required full day, 2 flights to get there kind of travel. And for that sort of thing, this is amazing because you can bring your books with you. You can bring as many books as you want. You don't have to worry about running out of something to read, which is always a concern. And the first time I brought this on a flight, and we were delayed, and it was late at night. We're finally on this airplane, and normally I read on planes, period. But in this case, I was wiped out, and I set this up and played an old episode of Grey's Anatomy, which is my comfort TV. I was like, this is insane. I can watch TV on a plane. I know, I am way behind the times, but that's me. I'm old. So I do like it for airplane travel. The other reason, as I said, graphic novels. So, and this was the main reason I think that I asked for the original Kindle in the first place. I reviewed books as part of my career for a long, long time. For Publishers Weekly, for Shelf Awareness, for Vital Magazine, for Family Fun Magazine, and on my own blog for 18 years. I still have my blog. And I saw that publishers were moving away from sending you a box of books to sending ebooks. So I did need a way to read those. Now, a few years later, many publishers have gotten away from working one-on-one with reviewers at all. And they're relying on things like NetGalley and Edelweiss to distribute books for review. So things have changed a lot, but there are still a couple of publishers that I work with, Scholastic, Macmillan, who do send out email to reviewers, their list of upcoming books, and you can request them. These days, typically you don't even request them. They've got a link for you to go download it yourself. Mostly I do audiobooks that way. That's where I get most of my audiobooks. But as I said, graphic novels are another thing that that I use the e-reader for because they're sent to me for review. Okay, so this is the Books app on here, where I've got a whole bunch of graphic novels that I downloaded for review that I haven't gotten to yet. So that's the other time that I use my e-reader. Question 4, do you still read physical books? Mostly. If so, how do you decide which format to read a certain book in? Again, I almost always read physical books. I will read something on here, as I said, if it's a review book that was distributed as an ebook, or on those rare occasions when we are flying and there's a book that I want to read, it's great to have it on here. So that's why I got the reading list, because it was a read-along book with the BookTubers podcast last year. or the year before maybe. And I really wanted to read it, and it was one of those family funerals. We were heading off for a week. So I got it on ebook so that I didn't have to carry the book with me. Question 5, what is something you dislike about reading ebooks? Like I said, I do like the feel of a physical book. I don't know if there's anything I really dislike about ebooks. I've got so many physical books. I tend to read those more often, much more often. Question 6, would you ever ditch physical books completely and become a sole ebook reader? If yes, why? If not, why not? No. I like physical books, and I have a lot of them. Question 7, where do you get your ebooks? Kindle store, library loans, third-party websites? It depends. The other circumstances where I might choose an ebook is if I need to read something for book group that is not readily available. If there's a long wait list at the library, then I'll check Libby to see if they've got it. For a while, one of the publishers was using Libro.fm, which is a great website, supports local bookstores, great way to get your audiobooks. One of the publishers was using Libro.fm for their downloads. So because I had done so many downloads in a particular year, they gave me in January a free ebook to download. So I did that, and I think that was a book. Yeah, it was definitely a book group book. Yeah, I don't buy myself books very often, and that applies to ebooks as well. Probably all the ebooks I have on my Kindle app, I have probably not paid more than $1.99 for any of them. They were either free or on sale, you know, and I just kind of bought them on impulse. That's why I haven't gotten to them yet. And question 8, tag some fellow booktubers. So I tried to check whether these people had done the tag yet. I think I've got it, but if I missed it, just let me know. I am tagging Michael Romeo Reads. Now, I did see that Michael did the tag back when I did 3 years ago. But Michael, I'm giving you the opportunity to redo it like I am. If your answers have changed at all in the last 3 years. I'm also tagging Daniela at Uncommon Reader, Anna G at Nymeria941, and Precious at Reading Through the Generations. So I hope you'll enjoy doing this tag. Anyone else who would like to do it, consider yourself tagged. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your e-reader thoughts and feelings? What are your habits? Let me know.